Right. Today, we all know that we're doing transposition formally, which is basically we're changing the subject of different formulas. Right? This is a very important skill in math. Very, very important. Without this skill, you're not able to solve equations. You're not able to do like nothing when it comes to complex problem going down more into the syllabus. You need this skill. If you don't master this skill, you'll get problems. Right? So as I teach, I want you guys to write down some stuff that I might mention and these kind of stuff, right? So Maxine, you have to pay keen attention. All right. So this what I have here, right, is a formula. And the subject, what is the subject of this formula? Anybody can tell me?
Why?
Why?
Why? Why is the subject? Because Y stands alone. Y the best self, right? So that's the subject of the formula. But what if I want to change the subject of this formula and I want this subject to become X? I want to make the subject of the formula. I want to change it to X. All right, I want to make X the subject of this formula. So we know X is on the right hand side, right? X is on the right hand side. And what we have Y is equal to X plus A. This is A, right? So in order for X to be by itself, we need to get rid of what?
A.
A, right? Good. We need to carry A over the equal sign. Meaning we need to carry this over here. So this equal sign is a changer. It changes the sign, or it causes based on what the variable is doing, right? When you go over the equal sign, tend to change. its operation. So here we notice that this a is added. The positive a is x plus a. So when we take over this a, it will no longer add. It will subtract, right? So this is the first thing. We take over something that is adding over the equal sign, subtract. And the same thing happens when it is subtracting. We take it over, add, right? Good. So this will become y a. And now that we take a over the equal sign, right? What left on this side? X alone.
X.
And therefore, x is the subject now. And we say now x is equal to, we could put it like this here too. We put it like this, x is equal to y minus a. Right? So take this down.
Kyle, please move. Move.
So when you get this, just let me know. Everyone understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good.
Yes, sir.
Now let's see, we have y equal x minus a. And I want to make x the subject. What would be your answer?
Y plus A.
Good, because we
Y
take
plus A.
good. Because we're trying to make x the subject, and we need to get rid of this in order for x to be the subject. And this here is subtracting. So negative a. So when we take it over, becomes a positive, right? So it'll be y plus a equal x. So x is equal to y plus a, right? Take that down and let's move on to
Finish, sir.
good. There I have y is equal to xz, right? So I want to make x a subject. In this case, we know y is a subject, but I want to change the subject to x. So what I need to get rid of? What do you need to take over?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Z. And what Z is doing?
Z.
Multiplying.
Good. So the Z is multiplying.
Multiplying. When it goes over, it divides.
Good. So when something is multiplying on one side, and we take it over the equal sign, it divides. Don't forget that. So remember, when we say divide, it becomes what? The denominator. Right? So it becomes the denominator. So it is y, and it becomes the denominator. Z becomes the denominator. Take that down.
Excuse me, sir. I didn't understand this one.
All right. So we have y equaling to xz. So when we did before, when we have two variables together, right? Like say xy, what they are doing? Multiplying. They're multiplying. They are multiplying. So when you see something together like this, without any sign in between or anything, they're multiplying. So that means whenever we get in, meaning that these two are products. Whenever we get rid of something that was a product or they are multiplying, we need to take it over. When we take it over, it divides. And the same thing happens when something is divided. We take it over, it needs to multiply. So we're getting rid of z, and we're taking it over the equal sign. We reach over here, right? And it needs to divide y. So that's all. Understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Problem. Now we have y equal to okay. Looking at this one here now. Y equal to z upon 4. So I want to make z the subject. Z. What I need to get rid of? Remember, one z to be alone.
Get
Four.
the 4.
And what the 4? The 4 is
The 4 is dividing.
good.
So when you go bigger multiply, sir.
Exactly.
Multiply.
Good. So remember, when we see a quotient, meaning a fraction, we know this is a fraction, right? When we're trying to, we always remember this rule. We always take over the denominator first, right? When we take over the denominator, it needs to go over and multiply. All right, I'll go again. When you see something like this, take over the denominator first. All right, and this denominator is divided. So when we take it over, it multiply. So it could become 4 multiplied by y. We could just put 4y. So z now is the subject because z standing alone now. So z is the subject. So therefore z is equal to 4y.
But sir, right?
Yeah.
Even though you're doing all this, right? Expression, all them thing, they will tell you the differences in an exam, sir.
What do you mean? Like
expression, transposition, they will tell you they show you the differences. How you speak of the differences between them, sir?
I catch what you're saying.
Like basically you do transposition, all these things that we algebra, right?
Yeah. So
Say in an exam, how you able to pick out the difference between them?
you gotta know it. You gotta see when you see something and they tell you to, all right, make this the subject in this transposition you gotta do. Right? And sometimes they will just tell you to solve something. And you need to know that you need to transpose in order to solve it. In order to solve anything in mathematics, most of the time you need to know this skill. You need to know how to transpose. Right? We're gonna know. Then when we start solving problems in simultaneous equation and this kind of thing, then you're gonna see this is very important. Right? Some teachers just teach, all right, but the students they know how to transpose. When we carry over something, what will happen? Right? Good.
Yes, sir.
Now let's say, yeah, I get this right. I could take it out, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good. So this here is x equal y squared. And I want to make y the subject. So here, some people might say, y is not on the subject? No, y is not the subject here. Because y has a power. This is not y, this is y squared. Here, we can say x is the subject, but we want to change it to y. So in this case, what we need to get rid of in order to make y the subject?
Square.
The square root.
The
The
power.
square, sorry.
The power, right? So whenever we take over a square on the other side or over the equal sign, it becomes square root. Right? So if we take over this square A, it becomes square root. Right? So it becomes square root. We need to square root wherever is on the other side. Remember that everything that's on the other side, we need to square root. So we square root in x, because x is the only thing on the next side, on the left hand side. So it becomes square root x. So y is by itself now. So y is equal to square root of x. You need to do a lot of. I will send you a worksheet.
You can please go to again, sir.
Good. So I was saying that we're trying to make y the subject. We have here equation which is x equal to y squared. We want to make y the subject. We want y there by itself. In this case, y has a power. We don't want y squared. We want y standing alone. So what we need to get rid of is the power. And I'm saying whenever you get rid of a square, by the power is a 2, which is a square. When we take it over the equal sign, it becomes this, square root. So we need to square root wherever is on the other side. And wherever is on the other side is x. So we square root x. So now y is by itself now, because we get rid of the square. So y is equal to square root of x. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Let's say we have good. I want to make x a subject. What do I need to do?
You need to get rid of this. You want me x is subject, get rid of the square root, I think.
So
Get rid of the square root.
Good. We look to see where x is. X is on this side. X is not standing alone.
Yes.
X has a square root over it. It is square rooted. So we need to get rid of this square root in order for x to be the subject. So when we take over square root, if we take over square,
Becomes a square.
good. If we take over square, this one example, we take over square, we get square root. If we take over square root, we're supposed to get square. Good. So we get.
Yes.
So what we need to square on this side?
Everything.
Everything. And it's like this. Let me show you. Let me show you. It's like this. 2 plus y bracket bracket square.
And the little square.
All right. Not like this. Not like this. You're not squaring them individually. This here is different from this. All right. So this is what you need to do.
Again?
All right. Let me go again. So as I said, we have here the square root of x is equal to 2x plus y. They're saying they want to make x the subject. So we're making x the subject. So we have square root of x equal to x plus y. So we want x to stand alone. So what we need to do, we see that x is square rooted, so we need to get rid of this square root. So this is another rule. Whenever we take over a square root, it becomes a square. So we take over square root. So this what we need to do is square everything on the other side. So we take it over and we need to square everything on the other side. So we bracket bracket square, and not like this. This will be incorrect. All right, it's just basic rules are trying to run through there. So I will try to see. Let me see if I can do some application on the no? So you get it, right? So make sure you take it down. I will do some more. For this one, I want you guys to make x the subject. We have x plus 2 minus y equal 4. Make x the subject. So we have x plus 2 minus y. So we want x to stand alone, just like our 4 standing alone right now. We want x to look like that. So we need to get rid of, look and see what x is associated with over here. And we need to get rid of them. So it is associated with 2 and we have y. So this is what we need to get rid of. So let's get rid of the y. When we get rid of the y, put it on the other side. What will it do?
It will be added.
Good,
Positive y.
because y is subtracting here is a negative y. So when we take it over, it will become positive.
Positive y.
It will be x. All right. 4 plus y. And we know when we carry over y, what left on this side is x plus 2, right? We're not finished because x is not the subject as yet. So we need to carry over next is 2, right? 2 is added. Carry it over becomes a negative 2. What else can we do? Well, this is our answer. But what else can we do? Group the two numbers, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's like terms. Same thing. So we could just put 4 minus 2. We're putting them together, numbers together. The simplified order. So x is basically will be 4 minus 2 is 2. X is equal to 2 plus y. So look at this very carefully. Tell me if there's anything there you don't understand.
Sir, can you please go over one more time for me?
No problem. Good. So this is what we have here. X plus 2 minus y equal 4. And we want to make x a subject. This one, right? So what I'm saying is that in order for x to be alone like this, we need to get rid of 2 and get rid of y. So we take over y. Y is a minus on this side. Take it over, it will subtract. It will add. That's the rule. Take it over the equal sign, it will become. It will need to add. So we get 4 plus y. Then we left with 2 now because we get rid of the y. So we carry over the 2. Becomes a negative because on the left hand side it is added. So we carry it over, it becomes, we need to subtract, right? So it becomes a negative 2 or minus 2, right? So it'll be 4 plus y minus 2. So this is what we end up with. Now x is the subject. We get what we're looking for. X is equal to 4 plus y minus 2. What I'm saying now is that this can be reduced further because you could just evaluate the two numbers. Put the two numbers together and evaluate it. 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2, you get 2, and we just put the y. Right?
Yes, sir, got it.
All right. Let's see, we have now square plus 4 equal z. In this case, I want you guys to make x a subject. Make x a subject. If you have 2 minutes to think about it, then I will work it.
Finish, sir.
Right. So first thing you need to do is to check and see what X is associated with. What is affecting it from being a subject? Why it can't stand alone is because you have 4 and you have a power. These are the 2 things we need to get rid of. Right? And with transposition, what you do, well, some people might ask, all right, which one I should carry over first? Some people might want to say, all right, let me carry over the square first, carry over the 4 first, but which one do we carry over first? This is the thing.
The one that is farthest away from the term, I
Good.
think.
So this here, what we're trying to get to make the subject is X. So the one that we carry over first is the one that farthest, that has a further relationship to this thing, right? In this case, we see square get a closer relationship to this X. So we can carry over this one first. We can carry this one because this got a further relationship than this power. So we take over this man first, and then we take over this man. Because if we take over the square first, your stuff will be incorrect. Because in transposition, you gotta work it in a specific way, harder. So we take over this 4 first, then we take over the square. Right? So let's take over the 4. A lot of practice will get you out of here, don't worry. Take over the 4. This 4 is added, right? So it becomes a negative z minus 4. Then what left over on this side is x squared, right? X is not the subject yet. You gotta get rid of this square. When we take over the square, we always get
X
Square root.
Z
square root, right? So what we square root in? Everything on the other side. So we square root in z minus 4. This is how you put it, right? And not like this, not like square root z square root 4. No, that would be incorrect. This here is different from this. So we just square root everything. We put it in a bracket, this in a bracket. So look at this, tell me if there's anything that I need to explain again. This is just a skill you're trying to develop so that when you're ready to solve problems, it won't be an issue.
Sir, so go over to one time, sir. Go over to again for me, sir.
All right, no problem. Good. So we have here x squared plus 4 equals z. Trying to make x a subject. This man, right? So what I'm saying is that we need to get rid of 4 and the power, which is 2, which is a square. So I'm saying we need to carry over the 4 first. The one that get a further relationship to x. We know that this one is closest. This power is closest. This one is the farthest. So we carry over the 4, and then we come to the power. So we carry over the 4. This 4 is a add in plus 4. So we come over, it becomes a minus 4. All right? And then before done gone over, we left it on this side is x squared. X is not the power. X squared is the power. X is not the subject here. X squared is the subject. We want x to be the subject. So we need to get rid of the power. Take it over the equal sign. And it becomes square root. So you square root everything that was on the other side. And which is on the other side is z minus 4. to be square root z minus 4. So x is by itself now meeting, in other words, x is the subject. So x is equal to square root of z minus 4. All right. So we have like 2 more minutes before we go down to another session. So whenever we bounce off, just click back the link and we'll start again. In the meantime, write down this one. X equal to 4 upon y. And for me, I want
4
you
upon
guys,
y, sir?
yeah, 4 upon y. I make y the subject. Whoever get this, we get a gift. It look easy, right? X equal to 4 dividing y. I want to make y the subject. So,
Finish already.
when we come on back, you can tell me which is the answer. So in the meantime, allow the others to think about it. Remember, it's not simple. It's not so easy as you think. So take your time and go through it. If you listen carefully about something that I said earlier, I think you should be able to get it. You can widen the subject.